All right, everybody, what's up? It's Steve Johnson of Forsaken Warrior Podcast. And today, before I get into the guest, actually, I mean, feel free to talk if you like.
No,
but,
yeah. No, do your thing, man.
This is kind of special. I mean, the audio is definitely going to come out on this, but we're running a camera right now. And
Make it personal.
yeah. So I don't know if this is actually going to work or not.
It'll work.
Yeah, I fucking hope so, man.
It'll work.
So everybody's heard, for the most part, my audio editing skills. Me and Geramy went over this earlier.
Yeah.
But no one's really heard of my video skills or seen my video skills. So you're going to see them now, trying to line up the audio with the video and make YouTube videos again. Because I barely work out anymore.
Like, where have you been?
Dude, fuck around, man.
Yeah.
Fucking around, really.
Well,
but
I mean, we saw the 700 for 3 the other day, so we know you're still on your
687.5.
Okay, yeah. I saw the hate. Holy shit.
Yeah, for everybody that was counting, yeah.
Freaking vultures, man.
I mean, who cares?
Right, definitely.
I've done it before, so it doesn't bother me.
I mean,
but okay, so before we get any further, my guest today, Mr. Geramy Alexander.
yeah, I'm in here.
Destination Dallas. I'm going to call you OG. I don't know if you are, but
I've been here for a long time. I remember the first time I heard of this place, I was always scared to come here. This was way before the whole bad attitude gym situation.
I've heard of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of came in with them not with them, but when they were still here, of course, when in the Plano location. And I actually got kicked out of here when we were in the Plano location.
What?
Yeah. So the old destination had, the garage doors. Right?
Oh, I've heard this story. I wanted to know if it was true.
No,
I said it on
true.
Chris's podcast.
Yeah. So I was getting hyped up for a deadlift, and so I headbutted one of the glass panes, just getting hyped, right? Turn around, deadlift. I had blood running from my head, and one of the training partners, Danny, she was like, "Don't ever do that again." I was like, "What happened?"
Did you hit her? Don't you ever say that again.
She was a ways away, but I turned around and saw the pane was shattered. So I was like, oh, shit. So I ran outside, talked to the guy, TJ, at the time, and told him, I'm sorry, man. I'll pay for it, whatever. He was training a group of ladies. And
so you just scared a bunch of women. That's what you did.
Essentially. And so, I thought everything was cool. And, just maybe like a week or so later, they're like, yeah, we don't want you back in here.
Damn, really?
I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I said I was going to pay for it, and then I ended up getting back in, and Greg McCoy at the time, he was awesome, and Bill at the time as well, he helped me out, and so it was a good deal. So I'm back in here.
Okay,
trying to
not destroying shit anymore.
right, not putting my head through anything. So trying to keep everybody happy and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I want to talk about, because obviously the first time I ever met you in person was here, wasn't it?
It was here. It was in the old location.
Yeah, and at Destination Dallas, obviously the giant sign behind us.
Yep,
but
that's the place to be.
What I first saw about you, what I liked a lot, is because I think during that time when I first moved to Texas, I was kind of going down a little bit as far as not like motivation, shit like that, but like my mentality as a lifter changed a lot. So like my old videos, you see me like lifting, acting like a maniac.
Super hype.
Crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
And like now I feel like I'm a little bit more composed. Maybe I'll do like a little girly yell before I fucking deadlift or something. But I stay pretty quiet for the most part. So what I liked about you when I saw you was like, damn, this dude gets fucking wild, man. Like, it really kind of hyped me up again.
What's funny is because I actually had this conversation with, I think it was Chris not too long ago. I can't remember who else was there, but I feel like as you get older and a little bit more established in the sport, you kind of lose that. Because I know Pete Rubish lost it a bit.
Yeah, it's not that. I don't know if it's. I've had this debate with other people before. I don't know if it's that you lose it or you mature.
You just
kind of
mature. I think that's more of what it is, because you kind of realize that that's not necessary.
Right.
And if anything, it's counterproductive, because it weighs on your energy levels. Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
However, I'm an emotional person.
Yeah.
Therefore, it carries into lifting, of course. So, and I have no problem wearing my emotion on my sleeve. My wife can tell you that for a fact, right? So, that's kind of what happens. I have a lot of pent up, whatever you want to call it. So it comes
aggression,
out right? So it comes out in lifting, and so
I mean, anybody that could headbutt a glass, pay half a window.
I've learned not to do stupid things. I learned like certain things, or maybe a bit much, but for the most part, I like to get excited and whatnot, because it kind of amps everybody else up.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a huge.
That's what I was saying about me. It was like, oh shit, I fucking like this.
And
like,
to amp you up, I mean, you're the man, the myth, the legend. So
I want to go that far.
I'll go that far. to be able to do that is pretty cool for me to hear that from you. So
I mean, it like definitely like, you know, just because I felt like, well, number one, I didn't really know anybody here.
Right,
you know, when I first moved here to Texas, I was with my fiance now, Alexis. You know, so besides her and maybe like a few other people that I corresponded with on Instagram,
right,
but I never actually met.
Correct.
I didn't really know anybody.
Right.
So regardless of like people knew who I was or not, you know, and I was like, damn, am I going to let everybody down because they're expecting this fucking psycho walk in and doing all this shit? And then I just was like, deadlift.
Yeah.
Walk away.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it kind of made you feel at home when you kind of see somebody else that's kind of freaking out a little bit and kind of maniacal.
Oh, absolutely. Because like, it feels like now, like if I just decided to scream at the top of my lungs or punch something, everybody else will be like, all right. They won't be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, after that whole incident when I got kicked out, it was just like, man, how far should I really go? But you know, the people here at Destination, especially now, so they really kind of champion that because it just uplifts everybody.
Well, and see, like you can appreciate the intensity. I know the other side of the argument, like people who just don't understand, would be like, well, that's fucking stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're just like, well, I mean, is that for attention or know, what is that? But
well, they don't get it because maybe they've never even competed like at that high of a level or it's just not as big of a passion as theirs to get riled up.
So it's just, you know, their perception. They don't understand it. And perception is reality, of course. Yeah. So.
And so what kind of things are you thinking about leading up to like something like that? Like when you get so like riled up, what kind of shit's going through your mind?
This is gonna sound crazy. So
it always does, but that's okay.
For the most part, I don't really think about anything. But what kind of gets me into that frame of mind of being like, I guess like psycho or whatever is, I don't know. I just think of things to piss me off. Like, I mean, I haven't really dealt with anything serious in life that I'd say. I mean, my oldest son's mom passed away, but that's not really anything that situations like that may have hurt me in the past. Yeah. Whether it be relationship or, you know, just, you know, feeling like crap for whatever reason, somebody may have shitted on me in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So just anything that has hurt me in the past, I kind of turn that hurt into more of like a productive use. So
has like weightlifting or powerlifting, that's been like an outlet for some of those things, or what?
So that's been the constant. I mean, I've been not powerlifting, but I've been working out since I was like 8.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I
How old are you now?
29.
Okay.
Yeah. So I in Mississippi is kind of where I spent a lot of my childhood. My uncle had a little like garage gym. So I spent a lot of time doing that there. That's kind of all I had to do, right? I mean, in Mississippi, like you're rural.
It's got to be hot as fuck too.
Fuck.
Because their humidity is like
it's insanely
like Houston, I mean, I'm assuming.
Right, but as a kid, right, you don't think about that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just hot and you're just doing your thing.
You're just doing your thing, right? So I mean, I worked out with him, and then I would work out with my dad too, and then you know, I got wrapped up in powerlifting, but it's always been the constant. Yeah. That and gaming, of course, and I mean, that's always been the constant. That's always what I've done. I mean, I was on the football team in high school. I would go to a game, you know, play in the game, come home and work out. Yeah. You know, after the game, like at 10 o'clock.
You were nuts like me.
Yeah.
A bruised, battered, you're like, okay, I got to go to the gym.
Exactly. So, I mean, that was always the constant. And so anytime I went through something, you know, regarding anxiety or depression or whatever, it was always the thing that I used to kind of reel myself back in. Yeah. And so I've learned to make those psychotic outbursts, if you want to call it that. I've learned to make it work for me. Yeah. And sometimes I just don't have the energy to do it. I'll walk up to the bar all stoic and whatnot and just lift, or I'll be all amped. It just really depends on the mood at the time. Yeah. But as I've gotten older and more matured in the sport, it's kind of fizzled away. But you know, the heavy attempts.
That's just how it goes.
The heavy attempts call for it.
You're better off acting crazy here than like doing it at like Costco or something.
Well, my wife will tell you. Yeah,
Costco's annoying as shit,
Costco
man. On
is so
Sunday,
fucking annoying, dude. Like I can't.
You've been there on Sundays,
yes, when everybody's there,
everybody,
and it's just like, and it's like a petri dish of cultures and people, and so I say that to say like, with different cultures, I feel like their manners and whatnot may be different from,
That's not that like people are trying to disrespect you.
Right. It's just how they are.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine, but fuck. Yeah. That shit is annoying as hell, man.
My biggest thing is when people walk in the middle of the walkways and like aimlessly. They're not aware of anyone else around them, and they're just looking around, and you're like, tough. Fucking move.
It's tough, and especially when I have like my 2 kids with me, and I'm already just like super dad Papa Bear mode when the kids are with me. So it's like, I'm just on edge, man. So, but it's better to do that here than there for sure, because I don't want to get arrested. So
no, that's we definitely don't want that to happen.
We don't want to know stereotype.
Oh shit! Can you imagine the headlines of you coming out in handcuffs at a fucking Costco because he fucking knocked some shit over?
And I kid you not, I would hear it all. Oh, he's on this, he's on that, and
all like angry crazy steroid jokes, all the crazy like dieting, bodybuilding shit. Gym is life.
Angry black guy on steroids. It would go viral. I get very popular about that.
I mean, I'd post it up here if it was on for sure.
But is all publicity good?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay. Oh well. Okay.
That's what Brad Castleberry says, right? Bad publicity. It's all publicity. It doesn't matter. No.
You can't do it. You can't bring him into the mix.
We should get like the fake weight shit going on in here. You know what though? Like the shit that we do here, like everybody as a whole, because there's a lot of fucking strong people here.
Yeah, certainly, definitely.
I don't know if people like. I mean, most people in the sport know, okay, that shit's real. But
it's real.
I feel like when people are seeing us do it all the time and maybe they're new to it, they're probably like, okay, I don't believe that shit.
I think two points on that. I think the fake weight thing is like, I think most people kind of know it's not fake.
Right.
But it's just a like it's a running joke with him, right?
Yeah.
And then
a lot of people say like a lot of the weights aren't fake that he's using. It's he's used big spots. So like you notice when he's doing a big benches, the guys are pulling up on the bar. Or when he's doing those big squats, the guy's basically hugging his entire body.
Right. I mean, honestly, the guy's strong. I mean,
he's strong. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. But then the other aspect is like, I tell this story all the time. It's just interesting because number one, people don't believe I lift what I lift, especially when I tell like a normie. Oh, because they're like, okay, they can't comprehend it, number one, and they're like, okay, you're smaller than I am.
Right.
So how in the world could you possibly do that? But then, so I'll say, oh, I deadlifted 700 pounds. Oh, that's you deadlifted basically, I don't know, 7 me's, or you deadlifted a zebra. Like, how does that work? Like, how do you know what a zebra?
Right.
I don't know.
It's whatever they can
relate
put
it
together.
to, but it's like, how is a zebra more relatable than just 700 pounds loaded on a barbell? Like, I don't understand it. But
what does a zebra weigh?
I think it's about 700 pounds. Close. But I mean, there's different size zebras, right? Like, so I don't know. But
so we go off on a tangent about zebras.
So in the Sahara Desert, but yeah, I just people, they try and make sense of it, and to them it doesn't make sense. But just let them think what they want.
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, that's what I say. Let's rewind a little bit here, and let's talk about. Well, number one, I know you as a deadlifter, but your squat is fucking great too.
It's getting there. It's getting better.
You've been working with Sean a lot. A lot of people don't know Sean, but I will have Sean on the podcast in the next couple of weeks.
He's a wealth of knowledge, and he's freaking crazy strong. I mean, the guy's like 80 feet tall, and he deadlifts
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. He's really tall.
Yeah, and he deadlifts like 700 plus, and it is just remarkable. And he squatted 600 yesterday, naked knee.
I saw
the
that.
guy's 80 feet tall. It's insane.
Yeah, so he's a big, tall man.
But yeah, I've been working with him. So a while ago, I pulled, I think it was 765 straps, of course, sumo. I mean, if you want to say I cheated, but whatever. And
I've seen your conventional though. So
conventional's up there too, but whatever. So I had like, I don't know what I did with my hip. I don't know what it was, but it hurt. Right, I couldn't even get into the sumo position. So fast forward.
Too much sex. That's probably what it was.
Probably not. But so I was working with Sean to figure out what was going on, and that was more of a symptom of a bigger issue. So I started working with him, kind of just opening up my hip flexors and whatnot. And I mean, and also improving my squat as well, just kind of focusing on squatting properly.
Yeah.
So my background is single ply. I'm not sure everybody knows that, but my biggest lifts were in single ply, of course.
Tell us about that real quick.
Yeah, so I did a meet.
How'd you even start out in powerlifting, number one? And then how'd it lead to single ply? Or is that how you started?
Well, so, I mean, Texas high school powerlifting is a huge thing here.
Yeah, a lot of people actually that I've talked to do that. Have done it.
Right, and so, but, you know, and especially back, because I graduated in 2009, so around that time, before the whole, you know, everybody kind of using bench daddies and things like that, single ply was king, right? Like, in Texas high school powerlifting, there was no raw, for the most part. It was single ply. So my powerlifting coach in high school, I think I was a sophomore in high school, he saw, you're pretty strong. I think I was squatting like, I weighed $118, something super light, and I was squatting like 315 for reps. So he's like, you're pretty strong. You should powerlift. So I started doing that, and you know, Ken Anderson came up to the school and started hanging out single ply gear, and that's kind of how I got into that.
Okay.
So my best single ply squat 744. My best single ply bench was 600.
Okay.
And
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and my deadlift is actually kind of weird. It's my best single ply deadlift was in a meet and these are all meet numbers.
Yeah.
My best single ply deadlift in a meet was 670 something.
Okay.
Of course, I pulled way more than that raw.
Yeah.
After you bench 600 in a single ply shirt, your upper back is pretty much obliterated. Right.
I mean, that's a lot of weight to just be holding over your face.
Exactly. So so that gave me a 2017 total, something like that. So that was my best single ply. But with the reason why I brought that up was because, of course, your form is different in single ply, right? Especially with squatting and benching.
Yeah.
So my squat was very much, you know, I don't want to go as far as saying like West Side barbell, but very like hips back, wide.
Okay.
You know, a hip dominant squat. And with the raw, now that I'm doing raw, just because I can't get myself to get back into single ply,
open up like that, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
I just had to change it.
Yeah.
So what I was finding myself doing a lot was just arching my lower back, sitting back into it, which is just incorrect in a raw squat, I feel like. And so I work with Sean on kind of fixing my positioning, and it's helped a lot. So, you know, my raw squat's going up, and my raw deadlift is kind of getting back to where it used to be.
Yeah, so. That's a lot of thing that people like. Obviously, a lot of geared powerlifting has like definitely disappeared. I feel like it's much bigger still in Europe than it is.
Definitely, it's definitely more of a European thing. Well, at this moment, but in the States, it's all about raw.
Right, and like at the time, people don't understand because they'll be like, you know, you talk about your 600-pound bench, you know, and all that stuff, and people are like, oh, but he wore a shirt.
Right,
it's a different style of competition because. Depending on how you put the shirt on, what type of shirt it is, where the collar's placed, how you twist the sleeves.
There are a billion variables.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it can affect it by hundreds of pounds.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a different, really, I mean, it's not a different sport, but it's a completely different competition at that point.
I mean, it's completely different when we talk about not only the aspect of, you know, the mental game, right? Because you're fiddling around with a shirt and a suit, and it's hot and it hurts and it feels like crap, and everybody else is raw and the meat's flying by, and you got to get your wraps on, you got to get your shirt on or your suit straps up and all this kind of stuff. So there's that mental aspect, but there's also, just like you said, with putting the equipment on correctly and it working the way it should. It's just so intricate.
Oh, yeah. There's so much timing involved in it, too. Because, I mean, you don't want to be sit there, you know, constricted in the shit for so freaking long, you know? And then on top of it, you can't move, you know? So that's why those guys always have, I feel like, a crew of with them, basically, to help them out.
I mean, I'd have, like, 6 or 7 people had to meet with me.
Pulling your straps up, lifting you off the ground and shit.
Yeah, so it's extremely taxing mentally and physically, and also just, like, I think single ply benching is probably my favorite thing about powerlifting.
Yeah.
It is so, or just geared benching in general. It is so, it's just like art, you know.
Well,
like,
the numbers people can get out of a bench shirt are insane.
Right.
Like, it doesn't compare to a squat suit and a deadlift suit.
It doesn't. I mean, my raw bench, I think my best raw bench many moons ago was 440.
Okay.
My best single ply bench in a meet is 600.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a huge difference.
Big difference.
And so, and I mean, take it for what you want. I mean, bench shirt, it helps that much. Or, you know, that's really cool that you can really get that much out of a shirt. However you look at it, I mean, I grew up when I got into powerlifting, Ryan Kennelly, and watching his lifting. Like that's all I did.
Yeah.
I was never bench only, but I just was so fascinated by benchers.
Yeah.
So it's literally my favorite aspect of powerlifting. Just
what about
because,
like Scott Mendelson? He's like the fucking beast of it.
He's a freak. I think it's just Ryan Kennelly because that's just who I watched.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, not taken away from Scott. Of course, I mean these guys are legendary.
Yeah.
But that's just who I watched, right? Yeah. So, you know, it was him that kind of got me excited about benching. Yeah. And especially geared benching, and you know, it's just something I really enjoy watching and kind of doing. And I'm a deadlifter, of course, but it's just something about that.
Yeah, really cool. I know you as a deadlifter. Yeah. You know, I hate the argument of like, oh, I could throw on a bench shirt and fucking bench that. No, you could. Like, you can't. You can't. I tried this. Right. You literally fucking can't. Like, I knew nothing about a bench shirt, whatever. So one of my buddies had one, so I threw it on. We were relatively close in size. Yeah. Threw it on. I could bench 405 at the time easily. I couldn't even bench 405 in the damn shirt. Let alone I couldn't even get it to touch my chest.
I mean, and there's like setting the shirt and making sure you have the right groove in it, and making sure the collar's in the right spot. And touching is I mean, touching is like it's worth some anxiety because I mean you know, you get into a meet, you probably only touched maybe a couple times in prep. And you get into a meet, and that's just like no man's land down there. Oh, yeah, you're just hoping it falls in the right spot, and you're just hoping as it comes up, it doesn't like float back over your face and damn near decapitate you.
Yeah, that's one thing too, as I noticed. Just so I wasn't talking shit when my buddy let me try it out. I just wanted to try it, just to see what it was like, because I was still kind of relatively new in powerlifting too. So I was like, "Fuck it, let me see what this is about." And finally, when I was able to get it to touch, it wasn't near my chest. It was like on my stomach.
Yeah. Way low.
And like it shoots you down. It's like so weird.
There's so much into it, man. I mean, we can go on for hours about this. It's just, and that's why I enjoy it so much. I enjoy the technicality of it, and the fact that, I mean, not everybody can do it. They can hate all they want, but
right.
Jump in a shirt and let's see what you can do.
Yeah. Fuck you assholes that don't know shit.
Fuck your bench. Fuck your raw bench.
Fuck your deadlifts, man. That's like my thing. I'm printed on everything.
Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely.
What now you're obviously way into raw powerlifting. Right. What was it like first making that transition from geared to raw?
Honestly, it wasn't hard because and a lot of my old training partners, especially with Bad Attitude Gym, Greg and Danny and Jordan and all those guys, I always trained raw. I probably only got in the shirt or the suit near meet time. Okay. So I was always training raw. So that's where a lot of the raw strength came from. Transitioning to but I really never really did too much heavy training raw. So that's where it kind of came to where it was a challenge. Transitioning into the heavy lifting, it wasn't hard.
Did you ever get like in your head about like, man, I knew I could squat this in a suit or bench like this, but I can't do it?
Not really, because I just knew that was going to be the case, right? I just wasn't, oblivious to that fact. And, no matter what people try and say, I mean, I don't have that whole macho aspect of like, oh, I got to lift heavy and, it has to be heavy. And, I'm not worth anything if I don't lift heavy. It's just like, okay, well, I got to back down. Yeah, kind of learn this, and that's what I did on my squat essentially. Like, okay, I squatted 700 raw and reps, probably a little high, but whatever, with my old form. Okay, but I was like, that's hurting my lower back. It's not efficient, and it's not effective, and it's not going to. I'm not going to get any further with this. Right. So I need to back it all the way down. Yeah. Start at like 225. Rework my form,
kind of rebuild,
right? Yeah. So that's essentially what I did with my single ply, and transitioning into raw. But I've only been strictly raw training for maybe a little over 2 years.
Oh shit, man!
So I haven't been doing it for very long.
I would say like just because I don't think I've seen you compete live. Maybe once.
I competed. I did one raw meet. I bombed, but that was on the heels of my hip injury. Okay. So I was squatting. I bombed on squat. I was really trying to sink that squat, and my hip just wasn't letting me do it. Okay. So, but I did finish the meet. But that was my first raw meet. So I will be doing another one, but I just want to make sure that everything's right.
Absolutely. Like I would say, what I was getting at was just from being here and watching you lift and stuff like that. Obviously, besides the intensity, you're probably like one of the more technical people that I see.
Definitely.
I mean, you really tear apart what you're doing and try to re-engineer the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Even like when we've deadlifted together on the same platform, just like trying, like what I'm seeing you doing, especially when you were doing like more of the conventional stuff, like trying to tweak little things.
Right. I took a lot of your inputs, and I mean, because I'm always learning, and especially as your body weight fluctuates or whatever, like things change all the time.
Oh, big time.
So you always have to be diligent about correcting your form if you want to be, superior. And
yeah. Well, a lot of people too, they don't understand it. They think like if I lose weight, I'm going to lose strength. That's not necessarily the fact. A lot of it is that when you lose weight, your leverages change.
Absolutely.
So the lift changes. Right. So it's not that your strength is gone. The way that you're lifting it is much different.
That's what I was telling Chris. He was kind of dealing with a water weight issue, and the other day on deadlifts, and it was kind of affecting his deadlift. And I was like, man, that little bit matters.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, and especially on deadlift, I swear is affected. Well, I guess bench would be too by weight fluctuations, but those two lifts.
For me, it's the deadlift big time.
Yeah,
and the deadlift is like what most people know me for, but I can tell because I'm a lot heavier than what I have been. Right. So normally when I compete, I come in around 305, 300.
It's massive.
Well, I mean, that's awesome, in my weight class, but I'm seeing like 317, almost 320 right now. Okay. So I can tell when I get down, like, makes a big difference, grab the bar, I'm like, my fucking guts in the way, and I got like a fupa hanging over my belt and shit. I'm like, motherfucker, I can't get my breath.
Nice front butt, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I could still lift the weight, but it changes it. It makes it much more difficult.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it affects me too, and I mean, I think the heaviest I've been is 200. And that was not sustainable whatsoever, but it was necessary for my single ply lifting. Yeah. But I mean, my deadlift was trash. Yeah. I lost all that weight. My deadlift shot up like 50 pounds.
So have you always been a sumo deadlifter or conventional, or have you always kind of been, because I've seen you in both styles and you're really good.
So this may come as a shock. I prefer conventional deadlifting. Okay. I feel like it's more raw and there's less, I have to think less about technique. I can kind of just, grind it out, but sumo, I'm better at it. Okay. Just because of my levers. I have long arms.
You do have some long ass arms.
Yeah. So, and I think what kind of separates it is the femur length, femur to tibia, right? Yeah. So, super long femur, short tibias. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like it kind of puts me in a less than advantageous position for conventional. Yeah. Sumo, it's like perfect.
But I have to say that your conventional setup is really good, though. Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, and that just goes back to the techniques thing. But I mean, I kind of know where the deficiencies and proficiencies are. Yeah. I'm definitely better at sumo, but I would rather do conventional. Okay. Because I've been pulling sumo just because of the single ply lifting, of course, in a single ply deadlift suit, you would get the most out of sumo deadlifting. So, but a lot of the times I'll just pull raw anyway, just because it was more comfortable. Because I can't be bothered to put that fucking suit back on.
Yeah, were you here the day that I had the suit?
Yeah, I was filming this thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, I could not breathe in that bitch.
I've never been a fan of pulling in a suit because it's just so constricting. And,
I cannot even get close to like my stance that I normally.
Dude, I'll pass the fuck out on some deadlifting in a suit. I will pass the fuck out. Yeah, so absolutely. I don't even want to deal with that.
I was hanging from fucking barbells and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Couldn't get this thing high enough. Then finally, when I get it high enough, it's smashing my balls and shit.
Speaking of hanging from barbell, this is a funny story, and the people at Bad Attitude will have fun with this. So I was playing around with a multiply suit, right? So I was doing multiply squats, and it was the Leviathan, right? So the canvas joint, okay. Yeah. So it was too tight, right? I didn't take the measurements properly. It was too tight, right? It was a bitch to get on. Could not get the thing off. They were like hanging me. I was hanging upside down.
Was it the white Leviathan?
Yeah.
The legendary one.
Yeah, the legend without the
laces.
Right. With the laces, it would have been
it would have been easier.
Right. Could not get the fuck out of this thing, yo. Yeah. Like I was panicking. My legs. When
legs
you like
turning purple and shit.
I couldn't stand up. They had to like stand me up. Couldn't stand up. I just flopped over. Damn. I was like on the ground, like gasping and like asking for water and shit. Right. They had to hang me from the monolift upside down to get me out of that shit.
Upside down.
Yeah, dude. It was.
How many people picked you up to do that?
I mean, it was probably the whole team.
Jesus.
And I mean, I'm not a heavy guy, of course, but I mean,
but to hang somebody upside down by straps, was it the Velcro straps too?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was ridiculous, dude. I never, and so you could imagine I did not put that fucking suit back on ever again.
It's like learning.
I didn't even sell it, dude. I just threw it away.
Really? Yeah. Well, that's an expensive suit.
300. I think it was like $400 gone,
Holy
just like
shit.
that. I was like, fuck this thing. Never again. But yeah.
So when I did like a little BS meet at the Europa, and I won all of it.
Yeah.
So they gave me like gift cards for winning the class, and then I got best lifter, so they gave me the gift cards.
And they're all
Inzer.
Inzer, right.
But I don't use Inzer or anything. Right. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So I started looking at their suits and shit. I'm like, how do I blow like $1,000 in gift cards, with Inzer for shit that I don't use? Because
might as well make a deadlift suit. Right?
Well, so I got the deadlift suit.
Yeah.
I still got money left over. I'm like, fuck, what else do I buy? So I was like, just for shits and giggles, literally, I was gonna buy the new Leviathan with the fucking things in it,
laces,
and just fuck with it and see what I could do.
I mean, a buddy of mine, Blaine Stussy, I fucking love that guy. He wears one of the Leviathans with the laces, and I mean, I think it's kind of weird looking.
It is kind of weird. It looks like some weird sex suit or something like that.
But the thought of it and the design is genius.
Oh, yeah,
because especially with fucking how hard it is to put that other one on and off. It just doesn't stretch
the simplicity
at all,
right?
of it. Yeah. It's a brilliant design.
And you could like really tighten it and loosen it in different places.
Right.
The only time I've ever seen that suit worn is I was helping out at a powerlifting meet back home in Chicago, and it was a girl wearing it.
Yeah.
And they had her in like the tightest knee wraps I've ever seen. That suit, I'm pretty sure she had briefs underneath. It was multiply.
You gotta wear the briefs,
Yeah, and her fucking legs were purple as fuck.
Man.
I was like, and she's just sitting there and someone's just rubbing her legs down. I'm thinking like, damn, dude, I'll stay raw. It ain't worth it for that.
And I'm like I said, I'm 29. I'm not old. But like as I get older, man, I can't deal with that shit. Like I'm actually switching to knee sleeves.
Yeah.
On my squats. Because I mean, number one with
is it SBD? I'm assuming
it is SBD. Yeah. This is
shout out to SBD. If you're watching, he's got your shit. Hook this man up.
I used to tag them all the time. I stopped doing it.
They ain't hooking you up.
Yeah, no.
Fuck you,
but whatever. I mean, whatever. But I'm just now a raw lifter, so maybe in the future. Maybe. But it's just especially with the new squat form. Maybe it's just I haven't learned it enough to kind of make wraps work, but they just don't work.
Right.
And so I squatted.
Whereas I love wraps.
Yeah,
I fucking hate. I did the sleeved meet, but like I was okay. I did well in it, but I don't know, something about the wraps.
I love wraps too. I mean, I've always used them. I was single ply, raw with wraps, single ply or raw with wraps, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, just lately it hasn't been working. So I mean, I'm just gonna try it. I want to build up my quads and kind of my raw squat and see where that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is more comfortable, I hate to say it, but it is. If I can get some big numbers out of the sleeves, I'll stick with it. If not, I'll just go back to reps.
Yeah,
no big deal, So
now you mentioned getting over like some sort of hip injury or something like that. What was that, and how long did it take to basically get through that?
So let me see. I think the last time I pulled, and I based it off of the 765 pull because that was kind of something I was proud of at the time. So I pulled 765. I hadn't even gone over 700 in sumo in like a year.
Okay.
Right. So it had been that long that I was dealing with this. And when and so when I bombed out of the meet, that's when I kind of said, and I was talking to my buddy Jarris Hall about this too, and that's I was kind of telling him like I need to fix this shit.
Yeah.
Conventional's fine, but I'm not going to get 800 if I don't fix this.
Yeah.
I probably will eventually, but my chances are much better with sumo, which is fine. So I was like, I got to fix this. It had been a year since I actually got around to actually working on it. I don't know what it was. I think it was just tight hip flexors.
Yeah, and
it just had an effect on other parts of my body because my lower back was giving me issues as well. And especially because I was squatting more. I went through a period in time in which I was squatting a lot more with a lot more weight. I was doing a lot more volume,
more frequency,
right? And then wide squatting as well, raw.
Yeah.
So that probably had an effect on it too. So
yeah, you can't like load your hips the same way, raw as you can.
Exactly.
With gear,
but I was trying to,
right.
Which obviously is not advantageous for a raw squatter. So so it just caused all kinds of issues with my hips. So that's why I re-engineered my squat.
Yep.
And then really work with Sean on fixing my hip issues.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it had been a year, man. I was dealing with that for a while.
What kind of things is Sean having you do to like work on some of that mobility stuff?
So nothing major, because I don't think it was too major of an issue. But a lot of hip flexor stretching, glute activating exercise. I would have to fucking get on the floor and show you exactly. I don't know what this shit's called. I wish
I had like a higher table here. We could like get you
yeah. Just a lot of glute activation exercises, some hip flexor movements. He just, I like I said, I don't know what this stuff's called.
Yeah,
but it works.
Yeah,
Big time.
Sean's recommended so many things to me, and I'm like, okay, cool, and then I never do it.
Do it. I'm serious. Like I've tagged.
You know what?
Stories.
It's not that I. Okay, so I definitely like. I'm not one of those guys like that's like. I've done better than you. I'm better. Type deal. You know what I mean?
And that's good,
like,
right? That's good.
You know, like I appreciate different things from different people,
Absolutely.
and all the stuff Sean says and what he recommends, like it makes sense.
Absolutely.
I just am old school, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I don't. It's not that I don't. I know that I know that I should. You can ask Alexis this stuff. Like,
Right.
I know that I should do it. I just was like, man.
Our lady's always kind of. I mean, my wife, she has been killing me over this shit. Like she'll send me mobility shit all the fuck, and I'm just like, please stop with this. Like
you're like, you ain't certified. Don't send me that.
And I kind of, and I hate to say this, I'm sorry, Sean, but when he started kind of giving me ideas, I was like, that shit's not gonna work. I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah.
So finally, I remember the day we were over there and he put that big heavy sandbag on me. And I was like, wow, I feel great.
Yeah.
Went and pulled sumo, the same workout, after not even being able to get into the position for a year. Yeah. I'd give him a shot.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely, he looks like Spider-Man. So he must be pretty limber.
I mean, I don't know how the fuck he deadlifts what he does being that high. If I was that tall, I would not be powerlifting.
I'm blaming it on sumo and hook grip.
Cheater.
Right.
And the cheater bar.
The cheater bar and all that shit, man.
We cheat around here.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So
I mean, seriously. I mean, so yeah, but his stuff has worked quite a bit. So definitely so. Yeah.
Now let's talk about like your wife and stuff because she's in here a lot with you too. Has she done any powerlifting meets? Or
yeah, she's done quite a few, and I'm so sorry, babe. I don't really know the history of what you do.
What?
Yeah, I mean. I don't know. I'm actually not that into powerlifting, to be honest. I don't.
Do you know her middle name?
Lynn.
Okay. I had to think about it. Put you on the spot right there. Where
damn,
you're like,
dude. Fuck, man.
I saw that shit on a talk show. They were like fucking busting people out. What's her middle name? What's her birthday? And they're like,
shit. Holy crap. But she's in Canada right now. She's Canadian.
Okay.
And I can't remember. I don't know how long she's been powerlifting, but she's gotten pretty strong. I know she's kind of phasing out of it now. I think she's kind of getting bored of it.
Okay.
Which is fine. I mean, that's your prerogative.
It's not your cup of tea.
Yeah, right. But I think she's going to get into Olympic weightlifting.
Really?
She's working with somebody out in Canada for that. But she's been in here quite a bit with me. She's back in Canada. The whole immigration process is just.
Yeah. So you guys, you've mentioned this to me before. You guys are married, but she lives there, so she has to travel back and forth. Basically.
Right. So fortunately, being Canadian, she has quite a few liberties.
Yeah.
So she can come here for I think 6 months at a time.
Okay.
She doesn't have to have a traveler's visa to get here.
Really?
She can just use her passport.
Okay.
So it's pretty sweet. I mean, it could be better, but it could be worse, right? And it could be much worse.
Right.
Like if you're from some other country on the other side of the world, they might not even let you in.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
that. So it's like, it works out well, and it kind of gives me some time to get things in order here before she ultimately moves here for the long haul. And but yeah, we'll still be in the gym together, and I'm hoping that I can kind of, as she learns more about Olympic weightlifting, I can kind of
tag along,
steal some knowledge as well, because I feel like there's some things I can improve upon, especially regarding explosiveness.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's great, and she's excited, and she's pretty strong.
Yeah. I've seen her lifting. I've seen her deadlifting. I feel like every time we're here, it's always deadlifting.
Yeah.
And squat day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, bench. Fuck bench.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Fuck bench.
But, my bench has been stuck at like 5 to like 520 forever. Like seriously, like all of my lifting career.
And when I see people, like I gotta give them a shout because I hate them but I love them. John Hack.
Oh, okay.
Like, what the fuck? What are you?
Alexis pulled his video out. She's like, he benched 530. I was like, what?
Like it doesn't even make sense. And he deadlifts 800 raw or conventional. Like what the fuck? So it's funny. I was telling my wife. So he doesn't even know who the fuck I am, right? But I might now, yeah. I kind of used his deadlift setup.
Okay.
And if you watch it, my conventional, that is, you'll say, oh, that resembles it. Because I feel like it works. It puts me in the perfect position. It works.
Yeah.
So, but he's the best.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly not going to, I mean, they always say like, okay, why focus on a guy that's so much better than you? Well, he's the best. Why would I focus on somebody not as good as, or whatever, or on par?
Well, what makes you better is lifting around people that are better than you.
Right. Or, trying to go after the best guy. Right. So, he's Captain America. So I was like, I'll be Captain Canada.
There you go.
Yeah. But she's like, what the fuck ever. You're not even from here. But yeah.
Does she say, hey, a boot?
She does. And she tries to not, like, she tries to pretend that she doesn't. I'm like, you have a fucking accent. Stop trying to.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be macho. Like, you have an accent. Like, and so when I went there, yeah, man, like when I was at the airport, the guy was saying A, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That was my first time there.
Right.
So I was like, wow, this is cool. Because it's so, like, the stereotypes are true. I'm sorry.
Okay, they are.
It's a stereotype for a reason. So,
I feel like the deeper into Canada, I mean, it depends on where you go. They sound more French.
Yeah. I think that is the case. I think like Saskatchewan, or I can't remember where, but there's like a difference.
Well, and then sometimes they sound like Chicagoans.
Yeah,
where I'm from.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like close.
Well, Chicago's. I mean, it's like a couple states away,
right? But it's all in that vicinity. So I feel like the population kind of has inherited kind of the same accents and ways of living and things like that. Yeah. So yeah. But it's.
I feel like it's like how the South Park episode was with the Canadians and stuff.
See, I didn't see.
No,
I'm terrible.
Man,
I'm terrible with TV shows, man. I play video games.
I am too. Yeah. I only watch like 2 TV shows.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, it's either Netflix, sports, or video games. I just.
Well, one thing I have been seeing besides the lifting on your Instagram and stuff is your gaming posts and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean that's just kind of a thing.
I'm not personally into gaming. Yeah. Like I don't know. Like maybe it's just like a different. Well, we grew up kind of the same
time period.
Yeah. And I was more of an outside kid. I mean, I played like the typical shit like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, like Mario, all that bullshit. And I had like different systems, but I never got like really in depth into it. Remember Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal was, dude, I used to play that shit. That shit was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things that was a constant, right? So, I mean, as a kid, that's what I did. And, I was very much the nerd. Believe it or not. I mean, I work in IT now. I mean, I'm very much the nerd guy, the techie, right? So that's just kind of what I gravitated towards. Right. So gaming, and especially like when the online gaming came big, like Call of Duty, Halo, all that shit. Yeah. I just loved it. I was like, the thought of being able to play with people on the other side of the planet.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It was just like revolutionary for me at the time, right? So it's just something I did, and I got better at it. I stayed up all night with my guys and played online, and so, it was like, I'm a dad. I got 3 kids, but I was like, man, how stupid am I gonna look to share this shit? Nah, let me do it. What the fuck?
It's like, I feel like it's so big nowadays that like people don't even think about it. Like I feel like maybe a couple years ago, people be like, "Oh, the dude's weird. He sits at home, fucking drinks Code Red and Cheetos and plays games all night." Yeah. Which might be the case still. Those
pimply face guys.
Yeah, but like it's definitely become much more technical. Like John, who John Burke is?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's one of them, and like he broadcasts or live streams his stuff, and it's fucking technical as shit. I think that's what kind of like scares me away from it, is because I was used to like 6 buttons, and now there's like 20, and you got to remember what everything does.
It's crazy how advanced it is, and I mean, I think it's cool. I've gotten a lot of support about my gaming because I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I'm not the best, right? But I feel like
you can hold your own,
absolutely. And so, people have been gravitating towards that and the kind of the dominance at times. Yeah. And so I'll talk my shit or whatever, and I've gotten a lot of support on it, so I'll keep doing it and see where it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's a lot of money to be made in it,
dude. The money is fucking insane. Yeah, in that. Like some of the gaming events they have. I mean, there's like over $1 million purses and stuff like that. To win. That's fucking crazy.
I mean, my buddy, his I think his Instagram handle is Throne Physique. I think his name's Cody. I'm sorry, bro, I can't remember. But
we just know each other by Instagram.
Yeah. That's all we know. I mean, he showed me his and he's not big into it, but he streams a bit, and he said he made about $700 last month or something like that. I mean, just in your pocket, just like that, just from gaming. Like, fuck, why would you not? if you're good at it, why would you
a
not?
hobby?
Right, exactly. So I mean, and I don't do it for that. I just do it because it's fun and people get a laugh out of it.
Powerlifting pays you less and you get hurt.
Right. So people get a laugh out of it, and that's what I'm about. So
yeah,
and it's just something to do when my kids are sleeping and I'm waiting to go to bed and wake up for fucking work the next morning.
Yeah, fucking work. That's how it goes.
Shit.
What are games that you play normally?
Mainly just FPS, first person shooters, Call of Duty, and I haven't played Halo in forever. Some kind of fighting games like Mortal Kombat and some Dragon Ball Z shit, but really just Call of Duty because it's just the most fun. To me,
I feel like when Halo and all that started coming out, that's kind of when I started getting out of it.
Yeah. And I hear that from a lot of people just because of kind of it just became more difficult, and a little more technical, more so than it's just like, okay, why am I putting so much thought into this? This is stupid.
What was the other like popular like war game? I got into that for a little bit. I had a PlayStation 3, and my brother.
I think there was like SOCOM, something like that.
There's another one. I can't think of it.
It's Call of Duty, Halo. I don't fucking know.
It wasn't Call of Duty, but it was like it.
Yeah. Oh, Battlefield.
Battlefield. Okay, so Battlefield, I got into. I think it was Battlefield 2.
Yeah.
And I had a PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And I would play with my brother who lived in a different place. He lived in Nevada at the time. So me and him would get on and really just shit talk each other. And then he'd like include me in on the teams that he was part of.
Right.
And I would just die. He'd be you fucking suck, dude. Like,
I mean, that shit's fun, man. And just talking shit. And I mean, I was never like in a crazy league or anything, but me and my guys would go against, we would team up and go against some
12-year-olds
that were fucking good, and it was fun. I mean, just talking shit is the most fun part about it. I mean, it's just fun to call people names and tell your life sucks because you aren't good at this thing that really amounts to nothing in life.
I remember this one kid who was me and my brother were playing, so we're on the headsets talking and shit, and I'm just getting worked by this fucking kid. Keep killing me. And he's talking shit the whole time. And then his mom comes in the room, and you can hear her in the background, I forgot his name. And she's like, Mikey, it's time for bed. And I was like, Mikey, it's time for bed.
Just going off on his ass.
I just start fucking ripping on him. He got fucking pissed, man. And then he would like go to like the places he knew like where you would respawn, and he'd be there already fucking killing me.
Fucking tryhards, man. That shit gets annoying, but I mean, again, it's just a game. It's fun,
Yeah. I mean, and I know I could beat a 12-year-old's ass, so it doesn't.
But man, those games gives those kids superpowers, yo. Like those kids are just like invincible on those games.
Oh yeah.
Like definitely. I mean, you're of course behind a computer screen or a TV, so. But whatever.
It's crazy like how the world's changed so much. Yeah. I was just talking to my mom about like stock market shit, you know, fucking adult stuff.
Right.
And investing and stuff. And I've been obviously like, trying to play some money in the stock market on like home entertainment stuff, or like things that require you to be at home, like even shopping for food.
Correct. Exactly.
And like that's us blowing up, obviously, because now everything is brought to your fingertips, so you don't have to go anywhere. You could sit at home and shop for everything. So like investing in stuff like that, basically.
Yeah, that's smart, because I mean it's only gonna shift more into that. I mean, look how big Amazon's gotten.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And and especially with like stores like Walmart and Kroger, maybe not so much Kroger, but big corporate stores like that kind of deliver your shit to you.
Oh yeah,
or things like that. It's that's where it's going. So
fuck, you don't even have to go in the store anymore. You can order your food and just pull
in your
up.
Car. Yeah. I don't ever like that.
That's some lazy shit right there.
It is, and they always get the shit wrong, and I don't want to have to fucking choke slam a kid for giving me
17-year-old kid with braces and fucking pimples everywhere.
These eggs are all cracked. I'm about to beat your ass, bro.
Did you fucking look, man?
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a smart investment, because that's where it's going.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely,
definitely.
Let's talk about Destination Dallas a little bit here. What's so this is the new location here, which is 10 minutes up the road from the old location. Right. What do you think of the new place compared to the old? Do you like it better or worse?
I love the new. I love the new place, mainly, and this is going to sound so ridiculous, and I bloviate about this all the fucking time, but mainly because this place doesn't have those big garage windows in it.
Oh yeah,
so it's not cooking in the summer,
and you're not tempted to punch something out.
Right, which fucks my workout up. Like so, and there's just more space.
Yeah,
I feel like it's more because, you know, in the old location, the powerlifting section was kind of off in the corner.
Oh, it was all like compacted together.
Right. And so I guess there's a reason why you would enjoy that is because it's like off the beaten path and not everybody's kind of in your way. But I mean, I'm kind of a environmental lifter.
Yeah.
So I hate to say this, I like to be seen.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm the same way.
Right. So when you kind of have everything integrated into its, you know, everybody kind of integrated together, I feel like it helps.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I feel like I've met more people here because of that reason.
Oh, absolutely.
The space is great. It's huge. It seems purpose built.
Yeah.
Or for the most part. I mean, I know the old destination location was built literally for the gym, but like everything's like where it needs to be here. I feel like
absolutely.
It's a great location.
It definitely. It being more spread out is easier to navigate through, especially when the gym's packed.
100%. Yeah.
And like, because you know, if you guys never been to Destination Dallas before, obviously a lot of big name lifters come here.
Right.
Either they lift here normally or they travel to come here.
Right.
So there's always cameras here.
Yeah.
There's always photographers. There's always something going on. And obviously, like, we're podcasting in a room.
Absolutely.
In Destination.
Right.
So there's a lot of media behind everything too. So when people are setting up tripods and all that shit, it would get like frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, like where not that it would ruin a workout, but it would get like it's just in your way.
Yeah, it's in your way and it's annoying, and having the space kind of curves out a little bit.
Oh yeah, it spreads out, and then like we got all of the little media rooms and stuff. You know, you got the fucking sauna right out here and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's definitely built up a lot more. The only thing I personally miss is I miss the outside part.
And I was just gonna get to that, and because I got a lot of strongmen buddies like Sumner and Austin. Yeah. She did a podcast with him recently, and that's their main complaint.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I mean, I never used it.
Well, because now like they're kind of in the corner.
Right, they're in the corner, right. But and their corner is like not functionable for them for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Like where are you gonna do a yoke?
It's hard. You have to kind of
like
drag it to the turf or go
or
bring
go
it outside.
Yeah, which is like a mile away from the actual epicenter, I guess you would say, of where the stuff's at. But I mean, it's I think that's my only complaint. But I feel like they're going to work on that. So
yeah, like obviously talking with Michael and stuff, like the gym's actually not set exactly the way that they want it.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be some change.
Yeah, they got to change it, and like, you know, they're adding more equipment. I mean, but it's crazy that how they've like even the small amount of time that I've been here.
Yeah.
How much stuff's been added?
Oh man,
how much they've catered actually more to the powerlifting.
Yeah, I mean racks, bars, specialty bars.
Specialty bars out the ass.
Yeah, and I mean I think MJ's looking to get some kilo plates as well.
Oh yeah,
I mean holy
he was
shit,
just talking about that.
They've done so much for us.
Yeah.
Like I mean, and you know, I was kind of looking towards maybe shifting to another gym back before they moved, because Bad Attitude took all their stuff out and they just didn't have any powerlifting equipment.
Well, now they've kind of blown all that away.
Yeah,
I mean, I like Bad Attitude guys and stuff, and they're over at Hidden Gym. But I mean, this is blowing up enough now. I wish that like we could all coordinate. You guys are all pretty good about like Chris and Charles and Sean about all kind of getting here at the same time. I'm fucking horrific with that.
Well, I mean, this work schedule, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll work and like other stupid shit that's going on. But eventually, I'd like it to where I could be here, lift with a crew, and like if we all did a meet together, or we all show up together and help each other out, you know, something like that. Like that's the one thing I missed, the aspect of my gym back home. Right. Was I had that, you know.
But I think, didn't you have like some sort of ownership in that?
Yes.
At the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember going out there. I went to Chicago for work, and it's just funny because I went out there and I come back and you're here. But I was like, man, I wonder if I'm going to run into Steve. And so, but it was cool to be out there. But yeah, I mean, I think eventually the schedules and whatnot will kind of sync up, and we'll be able to do something like that.
Definitely, because I need to see you punching windows out again, you know, bleeding somewhere.
They should just fucking like set up an area for me to just destroy. That would be perfect.
Hey, Geramy, we got panes of glass and pots and pans or whatever. Just start hitting.
We need to talk to MJ about that. I mean, I think just go find something at a junkyard, like an old fucking car or something I can just stomp on. And shit.
Yeah. We just get you. How about we just get like I need some wood chop for my fireplace, so I got you an axe and some. Just go crazy over there.
I think that I'm not gonna say nobody. Like I said, nobody really knows me, but I think that's kind of what got me to where I'm at as far as like the following.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, man. I think I was like
being crazy.
Yeah, I think I was like 160 something, maybe close to 170 at the time. And I was by myself. It was at the den before it was hidden.
Okay.
And Deadlift Till I'm Dead reposted this, and I think King of the List did too. But I just remember all the following coming from the Deadlift Till I'm Dead post.
Oh, they post you a lot.
Yeah,
I see you on there. I think that's where I first saw you.
Yeah,
and I clicked on your shit and just started.
I love them. But anyway, I deadlifted. It was like 705 with straps on. It was conventional, and I freaked the fuck out at the end. Slammed the weight down, yelled, stormed off and shit. And I think that's kind of where it came from. So
I like that stuff, man.
Yeah. I'll probably. I'm actually going to be attempting 800 soon.
Damn. Okay.
Sumo.
Okay.
Not
a Jefferson deadlift, right?
No. I saw that, dude. I saw you. I mean, are you good from that? Like,
I'm good. I'm good. Everything's fine. But I was lucky that it was a small tear. Yeah. It was a very small. It was minor.
Right.
Enough to fucking hurt and let me know. I fucked something
probably
up.
Shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. But in my defense, it was a technique issue because I straightened out my front leg.
I did see it did look a little, if
I didn't straighten out that damn leg, the front leg, it was my left leg.
Yeah.
And I would have fucking I stared coming off the ground. No, I think the weight lifted like this much and then I just felt it sounded like sounded like like twine.
Yeah,
like, kind of like tight, real tight, and it just like like that. That's what it felt like, but like 3 times.
Shit, yeah, I mean,
so I won't do that. Sorry, Massonomics. I won't be competing in your Dead Jefferson.
Yeah, no, just how that looks scares the shit out of me. But I've always been scared of injury, so that's why I just focus so much on form and shit. But yeah, I'll be attempting 800 soon, sumo, if that matters to anybody. So I'll probably have to bring the hype then.
Absolutely.
So I'll definitely get back into that.
I'm gonna get you some bottles of Juji Mufu's fucking smelling salts. So the most hardcore shit ever.
It is pretty rough. I actually make my own.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Okay. I make my own, but that shit is insanity.
Oh, so
like it's like crystal meth. Like
what, his stuff?
Texture. Yeah.
His stuff
crazy.
is by far the strongest shit I've ever
It is the strongest I've ever. Yeah. It almost put me the fuck out.
Yeah. I because I'm friends with him. So I was at I think it was in Houston maybe when he was there for the American Fit Expo. And he walks up to me, he goes, "Hey, smell this." And I did. I didn't know. So I mean, I took a pretty good whiff, and the bottle was that close to your face. My fucking eyes started tearing, and I didn't gag, but like all the air felt like it was pulled out of me, and I fucking couldn't breathe. Like I was like, oh my god, what the fuck?
My buddy Zach had that shit, and I just thought it was like any run of the mill ammonia. I mean, I've been using shit for years, and it fucking like I was going to use it for a deadlift, and I was like, no, I can't use this. It's it's legit.
Yeah, if anybody decides to go and get that, literally start from out here.
Yeah,
don't bring it up to your face.
No, that shit is.
It hurts.
Wow, it's insane.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
absolutely.
The stuff I make is pretty. I'm not gonna say mild, but it's kind of on the edge of very effective.
Yeah,
but not just gonna knock you the fuck out. So.
It's like effective, borderline. It could be used for anarchism, whatever.
Right, exactly. I mean, Chris uses it and he like huffs the shit. So I'm just like,
he's in. Yeah, I see him smelling it. He always throws the bottle. There was one time when he was squatting. And he was getting ready, and I was getting ready to side spot.
Yeah.
And he's sniffing on the bottle, and he just, he's not even thinking. He caps up and he throws it, and there was a girl that hair straight in the back with that shit. Dude. And she's like, "What the fuck?"
He threw one of mine, and it just the bottle broke, and it went everywhere. And
you just kind of like,
I'll make you some more, whatever. It's all good. Yeah, but when you're squatting, fucking what is it, 9? He squatted 945 the other day.
Fucking insanity.
Wow.
He said he was going to do that too when he was on the podcast. It was coming up, and I think he did it the next week.
Yeah. Yeah,
we got some characters here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we in North Texas, I feel like we have probably some of the strongest athletes here. Yeah.
In this gym for sure.
Yeah, in this gym. I mean, so. From Sumner to Chris to Austin to myself, and then you, of course. Yeah,
occasionally, but I'm coming more often though.
Really, yeah. But we've definitely got some talent here. It's very humbling to be around you guys because it definitely promotes me to be better.
Yeah, you know what I like too is that like there's no it's not like we're all competing against each other.
No,
it's
yeah,
like
it's
we're just, we
100%,
lift, we do our thing, and then like in between lifts, we'll be like,
chopping
hey,
it
you
up,
did this, maybe try to fix that or just tweak this a little bit.
Definitely.
And you know, like I'm receptive to that too. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people think when they tell me or try to give me advice,
right,
that I'm gonna be like, fuck you.
yeah, fuck yeah. What are
here.
you? I deadlift 900.
Right.
Who the fuck are you?
You know,
Right,
like
right,
whereas more as like, you know, I might be feeling what they're saying, or I didn't see that,
Right.
and I'm like, oh, okay, that fucking makes some sense. So I'll take into consideration
Absolutely.
what a lot of people are saying too.
And I mean, you know, and
well, because you guys are all high level lifters,
Right.
in your own right as well. I mean, we're all different weight classes,
exactly.
So we're all different
we span
strengths.
quite a bit. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what people don't understand is like, okay, yeah, I'm besides Chris, I'm one of the bigger guys in here, you know, and
Right.
me and him are probably one of the strongest people here.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
we're strong for our weight class. That doesn't mean you're not strong. You're strong in your weight class and all that shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're all pretty much top tier in what we do.
yeah, absolutely.
So that, and I feel like that's hard to come by.
Oh,
to have
that group of
centralized
people
location.
here.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's definitely huge, and a lot of the younger lifters that train with us. I mean, I hate to speak for them, but they should be pretty fortunate.
Yeah, they should. All you motherfuckers watching right now.
Yeah. Respect us.
Yeah,
Respect your elders.
Yeah, we could be the guys at the bar. Like, oh, when I was your age, I was doing this,
yeah. Right. So
what I'd like to see happen here, and I don't know if you would, is I know they've had powerlifting meets before, but like a legit sanctioned one, the USPA or something like that.
They used to do it, and I think when Greg McCoy opened up Hidden, he kind of took that ideology with him, which was great. Like I think they just had a meet not too long ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's an awesome situation. They have the perfect venue for it. But I would like to, and especially with the space that they have now, they should do that. Like
I think they will
get like a USPA sanctioned meet here. I think for that to happen, you have to be like a registered gym or something like that. But I don't see why they.
No, I mean, so when I was in Chicago, so I had the barbell compound meet, so they still do it.
Yeah,
it's a
okay.
throwdown at the compound.
Right. Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
the third
I do
year
remember
this
that.
year coming up.
Yep.
And the first year, fucking insane, man. I booked the whole thing.
Wow.
50 lifters, I think, is what we capped it at, and it was booked in less than 24 hours.
Right.
All everybody registered.
Wow.
And it went fucking smooth. I wasn't a registered USPA gym or anything like that.
Okay.
So I know Bobby Morgan pretty well, so we could probably get some.
Yeah, certainly,
because
because I mean they do one at the Castle, which is a fucking great gym, by the way.
I think that's coming up in next week. I think I'll be there.
Chris
actually.
I'll be there too. Chris will be competing. Sean will be competing, and then
I didn't know Sean will be competing too.
And a lot of Chris's, some of the like Robbie and
that's
Charles
gonna be a
and,
blast. Dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we're gonna be there, and then but they do that there. So but. You know,
2 guys I coached are competing in it.
Right, but I feel like they don't like USPA. I think they're doing a meet in at Battle Axe in April, but that'll be a drug tested one.
Yeah,
but they don't have a lot. They don't do a lot of meets up here in North Texas. So that I think that would be cool if we could maybe perhaps try and get something set up here.
I mean, I can get with Bobby and and be kind of an ambassador for it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I mean, because we had such a smooth run in Chicago for it. And I have a pretty good relationship with them. You know, a lot of guys up here, Kaler and all them too.
Right, exactly. So, and I mean, we have the space, we have the facilities, we have the potential.
I wonder if it's just a matter of like closing the gym down in the meantime. You know what I mean?
I think
because you're going to get that one a-hole that just comes in to work out when everybody's trying to warm up.
I think the way they did it, because I know at the Castle they don't, but they also have other things going on. So it's more like a competitor focused day.
Because they do like
strongman stuff.
Arm wrestling?
They do a bunch of I don't know about arm wrestling, but
I think that was there
they did do arm wrestling there. Yeah, they had it up in the ring.
Yeah.
In the middle.
When you first walked in.
Yep. Yeah. So they have that. They have strongman. I don't know if they have MMA or boxing or anything like that, but then they have the powerlifting off in the back.
Yeah.
So if they did something like that, maybe to kind of keep the focus on competitors as opposed to people coming in and kind of just like fucking up, or fucking around or whatever. Yeah.
I'm trying to pose here.
I mean, no offense, we love you guys, but this is our day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bodybuilders around here and stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I'd like to see some of the bodybuilders step up and
that would be awesome. Like my buddy Dominic, he's in our group chat, but yeah, he's freaking strong and he's a bodybuilder and Trenton as well. Like those guys, I mean, they have the shape, but they're strong as fuck. So that would be cool to kind of see them kind of get in the ring and Yeah, kind of see what they can do.
Well, and like you know, they bodybuild, so like they have more muscle mass. Doesn't necessarily mean they're stronger, but the potential to be strong.
Potential for strength, right? Because I think more so, it's more of just kind of like maybe there's like a neural deficiency with regards to heavy lifting,
right?
Because that's there's the muscle and then there's a neural, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, with some time under tension.
Yeah,
there could be a huge carryover.
I think that's funny that you bring that up because a lot of people misunderstand that part of powerlifting training. It's like this central nervous system stimulation
has to be on par.
Basically, like we're not trying to get bigger. Right. You know, you're not doing anything for hypertrophy.
Exactly.
You're not trying to gain muscle mass. In the off season, yeah,
right.
Different style of lifting, still with the compound lifts, but. During prep, because people complain, especially new athletes, like it's boring. Yeah. Squat, bench, deadlift over and over again. But if that's what you're trying to master, that's what the sport's about. Right. Yeah,
exactly.
And basically, you're trying to train your body to fire the right muscle groups at one time.
Exactly.
You know, like your fucking single arm dumbbell curl isn't
not going to do anything for your bench or your squat or your deadlift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so trying to wrap like new lifters' heads around that.
And you know, I'm actually trying something. Well, I'm forced to try something new because I have my kids every other week.
Okay.
So I can only train every other week.
Yeah.
So I'll go hard as fuck on my training days or my training week, and then the other week I'm just off completely. Okay. I may get a day in or something like that, but that's it.
A lot of guys react really well to that, though.
Yeah, and I was talking with Sean last night about it, and he wanted me to, or not like, I think it was last night actually. He wanted me to kind of keep track of that and see how it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, it's been working for me lately.
Yeah,
I've only been doing it for maybe, I can't remember the schedule changed, but probably 6 weeks or so. It's been working. So I mean, just having that, because anybody who knows me know I go heavy often. But I like to keep that nervous system, adaptation there.
Right.
So when I get under heavyweight again, it doesn't feel like the world is on top of me.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
because that shit sucks. Like, you can be strong as fuck, but if it feels heavy, you're shutting that shit down.
Oh,
so
big time.
So I'll go hard as fuck. That's what I always do. But just having that week to recover, I feel like it's going to be pretty beneficial. So I'm interested to see how that works out.
Yeah, that definitely works for me. I only train 4 days a week. Okay. When it's off season, I might add a day in, 5 days.
Right.
But and what's funny is that 4 days a week is actually not a week. So when I say a week, I'm trained by Josh Bryan. So he sends it out in spreadsheets, right? And that's your training week. Yeah. But it can take about 10 days for me to finish that 4 days. Yeah. Like I'll train, then I'll rest, rest. But that's what worked for me, because like everybody possesses different different muscle fibers, slow twitch, fast twitch, whatever. So how you adapt and heal and respond to things, it could be different.
Exactly.
I found that like working with girls, they respond to a lot, much more volume. Work. It seems like
I would agree with that. And I mean, that's a good point. And especially just I've never been a repper.
Yeah.
Or is that even a word? I've never done a lot of reps.
Yeah.
I've never been good at that.
Sound like you said I've never been a rapper.
I've never been a rapper. You do not want to hear me rap. I am the worst rapper on the planet, seriously. But I've never been good at reps. I've always just kind of gone for heavy singles, doubles, and triples.
Yeah.
And also a funny fact, I don't think I've ever really ran a program.
Really? That was going to be my next question. I want to know if like anybody was working with you.
No, I mean, I get bit. So I credit all my bench success to Jason Knobler. He's a single ply bench, or he's just a bench only guy from Connecticut, and he's a freaking monster, and he's basically taught me everything I know. That was probably the closest I've ever, aside from like high school.
Yeah.
That was probably the closest I've ever gotten to anybody like programming me or anything like that. And I mean, it worked for bench. I mean, quite well, but I don't have the patience for it. Number one. Number two, I get bored with the shit.
Yeah.
And I kind of know it works for me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick to it. And
one thing that I do like about the programming, number one, it's worked for me.
Absolutely.
But number two is I used to write all my own stuff.
Yeah.
And having to figure out something new, or like just think about what to do when you're going in the gym that day, besides benching, squatting, or deadlifting.
Right.
And it's nice to now just have it listed out and you're like, all right, awesome, I got this. And then on top of it, it's like I didn't write it there, so I'm less likely to skip it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Or I'm like, oh, I don't feel like this, so you dull it down a little bit.
Especially if you're paying for it too. It's I'm not gonna be, fucking. But honestly though, I say that I'm actually kind of waiting for my financial situation to kind of work out. But Coach Dubs 242, the guy who coaches
Justin.
We kind of had a mutual conversation regarding him, working with him. So I think we made.
Yeah, he works with like Cody Blazek.
Cody Blazek. I was trying to think of.
Is he a 181?
He's a 181.
I mean, strongest dude at 181, I think.
Yeah, he is. Because he differs from Hack with the reps.
The reps.
Because he's reps. But I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think he trains Logan Chapman as well.
Yeah.
Who's 2,300 plus pound
insanity.
powerlifter.
So I'm once the financial situation, you know how that goes, right? But I'm looking to work with him, so we'll probably be doing something. But that'll probably be my first.
Yeah, that'll be good. I think that's all he does for work is just program. Like I've kind of like shied away from it a little bit, where that was mainly my income at one point.
Certainly, yeah.
And I'm working full time again. Yeah. So now it's like I have 6 lifters that I work with. Right now, that's it.
Right.
And I don't think I'd go over 10, whereas at one point I think I had like 50.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
Whereas now I'm like, I could focus more on them. We can, have good progression. They can send me all their stuff, and, I'm extremely responsive to it. So it's a lot easier to handle that. Plus I got work.
Yeah, definitely.
I got all employees working under me.
And you're getting married too, right? So there's just a lot going. There's a lot in life, and
life. Really, that's what it comes down to.
And I never want to denigrate those who do follow programs, because it works for them, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just it's just different. It's just different for me.
Right.
But I do want to give it a try. So we'll see.
All right. Cool. Well. Let's we're gonna start wrapping it up here. So tell us when the next meet's coming, what you got planned, and any shout outs that you have, or anything you want to say.
Next meet, it'll be within the year. With this new schedule regarding my kids and whatnot, I'm kind of just wanting to see how my strength kind of turns out. I don't want to go into the meet half cocked. So, but it'll definitely be within the year, of course, USPA. So hopefully soon. I know Jarris Hall was wanting me to get in with him. Yeah. I think there's a meet in Terrell or something like that. I'm on the fence. I may do it. We'll see. The plan, I'm not sure if I'll be in wraps or sleeves. We'll see. If wraps, definitely 700 squat. Hopefully a 450 bench around there, and hopefully a dead close to 800, maybe.
So a big ass total.
780, 790, somewhere around there.
At what weight class are you gonna do?
181.
Oh fuck, dude, you're gonna dominate.
I walk around at like 185.
You probably win best lifter if you hit all those numbers.
Yeah. So that's the plan. I'm pretty confident, and if I do sleeves, hoping for like 650. All the other numbers the same. And shout outs, I've kind of stated them already, but Charles, Toro Strong, Chris, Sean,
all the usual suspects.
All the usual
here.
suspects. Yeah. I got a buddy in Canada. I can't remember his name, and I can't even pronounce his handle. It's like Leisure Power Building or something like that. He's a cool dude.
Some French shit.
Yeah, right. My buddy Joe. A lot of the guy. I met a lot of friends when I kind of went through my tough life situation. So a lot of those guys kind of helped me through it. I'm excited to see what Chris does in next few weeks, though.
That's going to be a guy to watch there for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I didn't even know he was. I just fucking talked to him. I didn't even know he was doing that meet. Yeah. So
I'm so excited for that. My daughter's birthday is on that day, but I think I'm gonna try to make.
Bring her a cake there, man. Yeah, we'll sing happy. A bunch of strangers singing happy birthday to her.
Look at these big ass guys. Yeah. But yeah, I'm so interested to see. He'll squat a grand soon. I promise you that.
If he doesn't do it there,
right? Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be so impressive. So yeah, the usual suspects.
Yeah. What's your IG stuff? Where can we find you at? What about your gaming too? Tell us about that.
My gaming and my IG is pretty much synonymous. My gaming YouTube channel the link is on my IG. My IG is g.a.powerlifting.181.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but it's easy to remember. I mainly post my kids, my lifting, and my games. That's pretty much it. And my wife.
I like it. I like it.
So I appreciate the
Awesome,
the love.
I appreciate you
absolutely.
coming on too,
Fun
and
times.
hopefully we get this whole fucking video camera thing running.
It'll be
here.
good. You know, I had the swole right arm out
I know
there.
you
just
got,
for
so you
y'all.
got the hair done, you got some lotion on, smell good and shit.
You got the baby powder in effect. Yeah,
Exactly.
We're feeling good around
I
here.
did the same exact shit this
we're
morning.
feeling good.
I blow dried my hair this morning, guys.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thanks, man.
looks
I'm
good.
losing it right now, but you know, I had to cut the mohawk off because it started getting a bald spot.
Oh,
so I had to let it go, man.
And you know, I'm very fearful of the hair loss thing. So we'll
It's
just,
not bald, it's thinning. That's what I say. But my fucking hairlines are
Yeah.
sealed, dude. But no one really noticed it ever because I never had the fade.
Right.
I always had it shaved.
You would look good with the bald head, man.
Fuck, I can't do it, dude.
Why?
If
Is
I go
Alexis
completely,
giving you shit about it? What is she like?
Does
she like the mohawk?
No, honestly, she didn't. She liked the mohawk. She didn't care for the beard.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny because the beard is how I met her, and the beard was down,
down there, right.
You know. And when I cut it, she's like, "Oh, thank God." She never once gave me shit about it though when I had it.
That's a good woman, man.
Yeah. So, but obviously for work and stuff, I can't grow it out that long.
You look smooth. I like that look.
It's
look.
clean.
You look smooth.
The
Very
beard
smooth.
wasn't too scraggly either. I kept it pretty fucking nice. So I do miss it though.
I think you can go either way.
Now I'm getting old, dude. I'm gonna fucking have the yarmulke fucking bald spot in the back and
at that point, man, I
comb
really,
over and shit.
I really hate when guys like it's no business.
I'm
of
not
mine,
worried about it.
But when they have just like the little patch of hair here,
Oh,
just
yeah,
shave it,
just
man.
shave it.
Like you look so much better with
if
that.
it absolutely gets to that point, it will
definitely.
all be gone.
You look like a badass, man. Either way.
Looking like Goldberg, I feel like. Should I get the fucking goatee and shit too?
Yo, do that.
I come running in the gym all crazy.
That would be pretty sick.
Goldberg spear somebody?
That would be pretty sick. Hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah. All right, guys. Well, Jeramy, thanks a lot for coming
Absolutely.
on.
Thanks for having me, certainly.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, he said it before, he's on Instagram, so you see some of his crazy-ass deadlifts that I'm talking about. I don't think a video's on there of you headbutting the glass out, but that would be pretty awesome.
I wish I had that. God, I wish I had
That'd be
that.
legendary.
Yeah.
I would fucking
But you know the story, so you can imagine it. Dream about it.
Yeah. And, you know, you'll see how hyped he gets and what I talk about and what I've been talking about and how it reminds me of how when I lifted and stuff like that. But before we go, got to say thank you to the sponsors of the podcast. Number one, Destination Dallas.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, I know you guys can't really see it, but like this thing is developing into a freaking studio. Yeah. We're going to have a better presentation soon, like with the stand, wall stuff. I mean, the whole fucking 9 yards. The broadcasting is going to be much different, and that's thanks to Michael Johansson, the owner of Destination. He's also the owner of Gasp and Better Bodies. So we'll be having a lot more of those athletes on here too, like Hunter Labrada, Branch Warren, Johnny Jackson, stuff like that.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, different aspect. We'll get the bodybuilding world involved.
And I'm excited to see that because, I mean, that's a world I'm completely, oblivious to.
Yeah, me too. I don't even know what the fuck to talk about, honestly, because I mean, I can relate as far as the lifting goes, but not any further than that. You know what I mean? And then also Pioneer. You have a Pioneer belt?
I do not.
What?
I'm a cheap ass.
Man.
I'm a cheap ass, man. I need to get one though. The belts are bad. I need to get
you got to hook this guy up, Matt, if you're watching this.
Please make it red, please.
Yeah, Mac, he can do fucking anything. But Pioneer, they're generalleathercraft.com, but Pioneer_fit is the Instagram. And you've seen my belts. I have the alligator skin with the stingray. That's like the fucking most expensive one that I have.
That's badass.
And then I have a couple other belts made and custom embroidered from Matt. Customer service is great. Everything's fucking phenomenal. That dude like knows business and customer service, and his products are fucking great. That's absolutely no lie. Anybody that's watching this that owns a belt can definitely attest to that.
That's all I've ever heard. So
yeah. So if you're listening to the podcast also, and I'll put it in the caption of the episode, it's FWP10 is the is a coupon code, 10% off. So that's any of his products, including the customized belts. So, yeah, man. Well, that's it, dude. I think we're done.
I much appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir. And we're out, guys. Have a good one.
MIB, men in black, know your team, know your whack. Get the strap, put it back, stay intact with the Mac. Standard clip, got some slack. Bottomless and never ends. Problem is I'm menacing. You a scaredy alien, dude. Don't you know? This my crew, this our home. Tell me, dude. Don't you know? This my crew.